What's going on, guys? Dots Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you all an update on the Dragonhold PTS for the Elder Scrolls Online. So ZOS has released some changes coming in this next PTS update. This is week 3. This is known as usually the week of combat. And from so far, I've skimmed the notes, and it's very underwhelming in my opinion. There's not a lot of explanation for some of the stuff in the notes, and not a lot of why as to why we have to wait for certain things, but I think it'd be better explained when we get into the reading. But I must say the new event they're adding is pretty cool. New event they're adding is pretty solid. But the combat changes, in my opinion, are a little... I'm a little confused by them, but let's actually get into it. So Dawn of the Dragonguard is a new event where you can basically kill overland dragons in northern or southern elsewhere, or any of the dungeons in Wrathstone or Scalebreaker, and you'll get event tickets, which is pretty cool. So basically the event is just to go out and kill a bunch of dragons. You can get tickets for northern elsewhere and tickets for southern elsewhere. And then during the event, overland dragons will also be found in like overland dragons found in Wrathstone, Scalebreaker, and Sunspire will also have double drops. You'll have double resource node drops in northern and southern elsewhere, but you'll also see dragons flying over the cities of the base game. They'll stay out of the range of combat, but it just serves as a reminder that the Dawn of the Dragonguard event is going on, and you'll see them over Daggerfall, Davin's Watch, Eldenroot, Mournhold, Velkelguard, and Wayrest, aka where everybody hangs out. So overall, pretty cool event. I like the dragon-themed event. Go out there, kill a bunch of dragons. I think it's going to get a lot of players mobilized and stuff to go out there and group up and kill dragons together. So in my opinion, it's a pretty cool event. Unfortunately now, let's get into the combat. I'm going to try to stay... not get as hyped up as I did in the previous notes. I'll try to stay a little I don't know, a little calmer, I guess. But the feedback and adjustments made to Shadow Image have been heard. We're looking for a way to ensure this ability's actual range is always reflected in the tooltip and ability bar, so we can properly increase the teleport range without leading back in situations where you thought you could activate the ability but couldn't. Okay. Glad to hear that they're listening to people on Shadow Image. Now, these next 3 to 4, I guess, bullets, I don't understand because there's no dev comment explaining them. In a future PTS cycle, we will be increasing the total damage of any dots that were nerfed in PTS 5.2 by approximately 20% to reduce situations where many of these abilities felt difficult to maintain outside of a nanosecond perfect rotation. This means that there will be an overall reduction in damage from dot abilities of approximately 33% compared to what is on the live mega servers. Many passives and item sets related to damage over time skills will receive adjustments to ensure their total power remains closer to their intended power budget. Dive's range requirement will be reduced to help improve the instances where you can activate off-balance proc in a future patch. Major vulnerability will receive some adjustments in a future patch to ensure it still be a powerful tool that cannot be stacked to the point where you want only a world of necromancers. Why do we have to wait again for more dot adjustments? I don't understand. This bullet right here is arguably one of the biggest things that people were waiting for with these notes, was the proper adjustment to dots, being that dots right now are just atrocious. And basically we're being told, sorry, you have to wait again. And if there was some sort of dev comment, I think below this saying, like, we're still testing things, we're still testing the numbers, we're still looking at some passives and item sets and how they relate to these adjustments we want to make, I'd be more okay with this. I'd be like, okay, they're really properly vetting stuff. Maybe they didn't have the time. They're really properly testing things to make sure. But instead, we're just being told, sorry, you gotta wait again. I don't understand why. I mean, granted, I'm happy to hear that it's only going to be about a 33% nerf compared to what's on live. I feel like that's way more reasonable than 60%, it's way more reasonable, especially with some of the adjustments to Dragon Knights that I peeked at. It's a lot more reasonable, but I'm still a little confused as to why, especially because it sounds like from this bullet point, they know what they want to do and they know mathematically what impact it's going to have. So why are we not getting the changes now? You know what I'm saying? So, well, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm glad to read this. It's just a shame another week goes by where we don't actually get to test it. We're gonna skip some of this. I want to get to the actual combat stuff. If you guys want to read this stuff, I'm gonna put a link in the description below to get to these notes. But we want to get to combat here. That's what I'm most focused on right now. Combat general. Fix an issue where sprinting would not remove the invisibility from your character. Fix an issue where your stamina bar could become desynced if you were pulled or CC'd while sprinting. Fix an issue where you would be charged for sprinting while swimming. Fix an issue where Bastion or other sources of unique bonuses could increase character effectiveness while meeting their requirements. Thankfully, they fixed this. Ardent Flame Combustion. This passive no longer has a cooldown in order to help the Dragon Knight sustain itself, since it doesn't have a class-based dedicated resource ability such as Dark Exchange or Siphoning Strikes. So this tells me they're basically 100% set on these cost increases. While I am happy to see that Combustion is being changed, I don't know if maybe necessarily this was the change. I would have liked to see the value possibly been increased. But again, this might actually be okay too. I have to get on the PTS and really test it to see how this feels. But I'm not sure how I feel about the Combustion change. But I'm glad to see that DK Sustain was addressed in some way or form. Fiery Breath, Engulfing Flames is a really good change. I'm happy to see. This ability's bonus flame damage modifier now uses both your spell damage and maximum magic rather than only spell damage to allow for more builds to engage with the morph. Very good. You were funneling Mag DK specifically into only high spell damage builds, and Magicka stacking is a very valid playstyle, so I am glad to see this change. Searing Heat. Fix an issue where rank 2 of this ability was applying its damage done to all Ardent Flame abilities rather than just the ones listed. Increase the damage bonus to 33% from 10% to help distinguish the Dragon Knight's damage over time abilities as superior to others. Very, very good change. Very good change. I am so glad to have seen this. Especially like these two things, the Searing Heat passive change and Combustion, were both things that I mentioned on some of the feedback threads, and I'm glad to see that this stuff was adjusted. It makes me really happy to see that DK Sustain was addressed in some way. DK dots compared to the rest of the non-class dots was addressed. So I'm very happy to see that these things are changed. It just kind of stinks that I can't, again, test the full depth of these changes, because one of the biggest changes coming to the PTS in terms of combat we are not even getting this week. So I'm glad to know it's coming. It just kind of sucks that we can't test it now. Yeah. Earthen Heart, Stone Fist. Adjusted this ability in the Stone Giant morph based on PTS feedback, as well as in preparation for an additional pass in a future update. This is merely part 1. Okay, so again, more future stuff coming that we don't know about. Reduce the maximum stacks required to stun the target to 3 from 5, allowing the stun to reach sooner and be planned around more accordingly. Increase the damage taken per tick of stagger with the Stone Giant morph to 45 up from 25 to offset the adjustments to the stacks. Please note that while this number may look small, it works with everything. Yes, everything, all the damage. This is definitely a mistake that I made when I originally read Stone Giant. When I was going over the PTS, I thought that these stacks only applied to the morph itself, but I did not realize until I actually went on and tested it that these numbers do apply to all skills. I think this is a much better skill now. 3 stacks down from 5 and 45 up from 25. Very, very good. Especially now reduce the duration of the stacks to 5 seconds per application down from 10 to help ensure that non-damage focused builds can't maintain Stone Giant's powerful group tool damage as taken as efficiently, since it works again on literally everything. Please note that each time you attempt to apply stagger to an enemy, the duration of those stacks is refreshed, so you need to not hit the enemy 3 times within the 5 seconds of initial application. In response to many points of feedback we've centered on this ability, we're going to spend some more time improving the gameplay pattern and visual storytelling this ability provides. It's a good thing I didn't actually continue what I was saying before, because I didn't read this dev comment. While we won't be able to do another large pass in this update, the changes above fit more in line with the direction we plan to take with this ability. The lesser stack requirement should help in building up momentum of a devastating stun, feel more tangible in terms of landing in hectic combat, while the shorter duration should give opponents more time to react to it. I definitely like this a lot more. I definitely think that this was a good start to the adjustment of Stone Giant. Again, I wish that this additional pass in a future update, this is merely part 1, was kind of expanded a little bit and explained what they're considering doing. But, you know, again, at least, you know, there is something else coming. And I'm glad to see We're going to spend some time improving the visual storytelling this ability provides. The Stone Fist animation is hilarious. It's there's no other word. It's really, really funny. And I'm glad to see that they've realized, hey, the skill's bad. The animation is bad. And that they're going to fix it. So, very good change. Very, very good change. I have to say, I'm very happy with the DK changes. As a DK player, I'm very happy with the DK changes. Sorcerer, Danger Summoning, Bound Armor. Bound Armor, since Morph now has new sound effects. No adjustments here. I don't play Sork, so I don't know if Bound Armaments is strong or weak. I mean, I don't play Stam Sork, that is. So, Stam Sorks, what do you guys think about this really being the only change here? Sorcerers in general, what do you guys think? Again, I haven't done much Sork testing on the PTS. There were no nerfs, no buffs, no changes really at all to Sork. So I'm curious what you guys think. Templar, Dawn's Wrath, Backlash. This ability needs Morphs will now only store damage out from the caster of this ability. This is a pretty big change. Rather than anyone who hits the afflicted target. This was done to offset some of the staggering power the ability could bring in group situations where low damage builds can apply the ability and generate free real estate from their allies' contribution. Now you have to put in the fervor to get the full power of these abilities. Fix an issue where these abilities would conflict with one another if more than one player cast the same morph on the target. I think this is good. I think this is a good change. Backlash is still a really, really strong burst tool for Mag and Stamplars, but it makes it less like, okay, well, there's a group fighting me and someone put Backlash on me, so now I'm basically just dead. So I think a very appropriate change. Should, still definitely monitor the power of the skill, but I think this is a very, very good start to changing it to make it, especially in open world, make this a much more balanced skill. This, on the other hand, I'm very surprised to see. Winter's Embrace, Sleet Storm, Permafrost. Reduce the damage of this morph by 50% to ensure this morph functions as a defensive and utility morph. Northern Storm. The max magicka granted from this morph no longer enables passive magicka boosting, and instead it is granted 30 seconds after activating the ultimate, and the amount of magicka increase is granted to 9% from 8%. And this morph now ranks up in 2% magicka granted per rank, rather than 1.1% damage done per rank. Oh, I am not sure how I feel about this. I am not sure how I feel about this. I know a bunch of people who are going to be really upset by the Northern Storm change. That's a pretty hefty nerf to Northern Storm, man. Only getting the magicka when you actually activate the ult. What do you guys think, Magdens? What do you guys think? I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's that's pretty big. I mean, 30 seconds is a long time, I will say. 30 seconds is a very long time. So I don't think maybe this is too bad. I think this isn't too bad, but like I said, at first glance, it's like to go from permanent uptime down to only 30 seconds after the ult that kind of stinks, but I don't know. You do get a 1% magicka boost. I mean, I know it's not a lot, but if you're going for a max mag stack with Northern Storm, 1% can be a pretty decent amount. And 30 seconds isn't a short duration. It is a fairly long amount of time. So Northern Storm it truly becomes more of a burst tool now, where, instead of just, getting that passive slot and then, just using the burst whenever you need to, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to get a big boost of damage here as well as the damage from Northern Storm. I don't know. Again, I don't really know how I feel about this change. I want to know what you guys think in the comments. I'm really not sure. I like I said though, I used to play Magdin a little bit, and I did use this, so it does kind of stink to see that passive stack gone. But yeah, I want to hear what you guys think. Now, Perma, I like to see the damage, the damage reduced. Like, that is nice. But it's still, man, 12 seconds of major protection is still a fucking lot. That's still a lot. I mean, it's good to see that this won't be... The way I see this is that this kind of makes it less useful as a single player, where Perma won't be dealing nearly as much damage. So if you're going into Perma as your ultimate while attacking somebody, then you're not going to be dealing nearly as much damage. Okay, so Northern Storm is going to be the morph you want to choose if you're looking to deal damage. But for groups going around Cyrodiil, it's still going to be worth it to use Perma because it's AoE major protection for 12 seconds. So I think that, you know, the damage morph here, I feel like hits the smaller group, the single player more, and doesn't necessarily super affect the large group. Because I feel like in the large group, the primary reason to even bring Permafrost in the first place was for 12 seconds of major protection. But I want to know what you guys think about these two skills. I want to know what you guys think. I'm not entirely sold on my opinion quite yet. So I want to hear what you guys think. Now, with that being said, I fucking knew this was going to happen. I freaking knew it, man. Onslaught. This morph now grants pen equal to 85% of the resistance ignored at the initial hit, which increases to 100% at rank 4 rather than 100% at all ranks. Oh, okay. I misread this before. I thought they just lowered it to 85%. So it's still 100% resistances, basically. You just have to actually level up the skill. Decrease the duration to 5 seconds, down from 9. This morph no longer ranks up in duration. So it is 5 seconds of 100% pen, I believe, down from 12 on live. These changes were done to ensure that you still gain a powerful effect to enable your playstyle, but lower the duration it requires you to properly capitalize on the time period by going aggressive, while enemies can use the cast time to attempt to thwart this by utilizing CC, movement abilities, or retaliating. Really sad to see this nerfed. 7 seconds, basically, taken off of Onslaught. And Dizzying Swing still not adjusted, and Dizzying Swing not adjusted at all. Kind of sucks to see. And in my opinion, what this tells me, really unfortunately, is that the Dizzying Swing change is 100% going through. I know some people are watching my video like, fuck you, Dots, haha, no, I win button, fucking Kappa XD 420, but I've made my points as to why I think Dizzying Swing should still be in the game, even if nerfed with like maybe some cast time increases, and I don't even want to engage with those people who think that way because the conversations have gone nowhere. It's just, I had a feeling this was going to happen. I had a feeling they were going to nerf Onslaught and not properly adjust Dizzying Swing, which is a little bit of a shame to see, but it is what it is. And like I said, what this tells me at this point now is that Dizzying Swing is gone now. It's gone for good. And at least, you know, we don't have to wait around hoping that it's going to come back. So if you have a build that does use Dizzying Swing, I would prepare now officially to just get rid of it and use something else. Whether you get used to the medium weaving or whether you choose to use a different skill in your build entirely. So, yeah. We shall, it'll definitely be interesting. Definitely be interesting. Oh, sets. Coward's Gear. Fix an issue where the set was not properly updating while sprinting. Crushing Well. Fix an issue where the bonus damage to your light and heavy attacks granted from the set was ending while elements and morphs were still active. Newman Alkalite did not get an adjustment. Fix an issue where the set was displaying different cost increase values for different item qualities. So this New Moon Alkalite did not get an adjustment. I'm surprised. Senchal Defender increased the max magicka and stamina restored per stack of this to 666, up from 535 to better equate to a small mini game in order to proc it. Wow. Steadfast Hero increased the cooldown of this set to 20 seconds, up from 10, to reduce some of the staggering power that this set enables with major protection. Damn. Like I said, I'm kind of surprised to see Steadfast Hero nerfed like this, but Perma major protection not taken down. But I guess they thought that the damage reduction was enough. Virulent Shot reduced the range requirement to reach maximum duration of the set to 15 meters for 22. Since you needed to be a pixel perfect distance to reach it, this allows the set to be engaged with more outside of only playing from max range. And that's pretty much it. So, it's a shame because I think if these changes were put into this week, it'd be a pretty solid PTS cycle, in my opinion. I think if we got the actual dot adjustments in this PTS cycle, that this would have been a really good week of patch testing. I mean, I know I would have been excited for it. It's just, it kind of sucks that it's like, me as somebody wanting to test in the PTS, right? I have to kind of wonder, like, why should I? You know, because we're getting, again, some pretty large adjustments to dots again in a future update, and that we know is coming now. So it kind of doesn't really incentivize me to do any PTS testing. Overall, though, besides the fact that they're making us wait on these couple things, I'm overall fairly satisfied with the patch notes. Again, it does kind of suck. The one thing, and this is just, I really don't want to get into a whole debate here. It's just my opinion, and I've read all the arguments against it, and I don't agree with them personally. It's a huge shame to see Onslaught nerfed and no adjustments to Dizzying Swing. I'm still kind of annoyed that they're just refusing to even try and balance the skill, a skill that's been in the game and has been an iconic playstyle for years, and they're just throwing it in the trash can. You know, that does kind of suck. But like I said, what these notes tell me is that that's the way it's going to be, and it's not going anywhere. It's not changing. So it is what it is at this point. I guess we just got to accept it and, you know, start playing with the medium weaving. You know, I've messed with it more in the PTS, and I'm getting more and more used to it, but it's still not going to feel nearly as clean as a nice, you know, Dizzying Swing into an alt, but it is what it is at this point. So what do you guys think about these notes? Do you guys like the fact that they're making us wait? Do you guys, well, I mean, granted, I don't think anybody would like it, but what do you guys think why they're making us wait? I think maybe it's to finish testing some stuff, but again, I'm kind of confused by the fact that they pretty much know numerically what's going to be changed, but they can't give us the changes, so I'm a little confused. Let me know what you guys think about these notes in the comment section below. Again, these are just my thoughts on them. Overall, I felt like I said they're pretty good. Sad to see no dizzying changes, and sad to see that these really large dot changes are not being placed in the game. I'm also a little, like I said, it does tell me, though, that with these cost increases that they do want to hit us, they do want to hit our sustain, and they do want to hit it hard. So we will see what happens, my friends. Appreciate you guys stopping by and watching. If you like the patch notes review, smack a like on it. Any comments, leave a comment below. And for more great ESO content, please hit that sub button as well as hit the bell to keep notifications on. So thank you all so much for stopping by. Appreciate it as always. I'm Dots Gaming, and I'll see you all very soon.